Okay, so I just had an epiphany while eating my grapefruit and um, I just like came across this one YouTube shorts of someone I started following recently, but basically it has to do with the theme of ego deaths, and that's something that has been on my mind. I thought I might create a video on it at some point, but right now I'm gonna try to capture the thought before I lose it. Basically what it is so I have been going through conscious ego death since about 2020, 2021. I wasn't super conscious of what was happening in the beginning, but as the years progressed, I started to kind of catch on to what was happening. And for anyone out there who's been through an ego death, you kind of know that it feels like you're taking off your flesh, like this shell of who you are that you've come to know and you've come to identify yourself with and as. And so all this time, this has been going on, and every time it happens, it's been not easy. But because you get used to it and you're familiar with it and you know what's happening the next time around, I feel like it has gotten easier, but it's still difficult. And I just realized, like, why? So the purpose of an ego death, or what happens when you go through an ego death, is okay, I haven't like studied this concept in depth. I'm just speaking from my personal experience and what I know based on my limited understanding of the ego death. But this YouTube shorts just hit me in a way that like kind of blew my mind open, which is that I was aware of what was happening, and yet the place that I arrive at through each ego death was yet again attachment to a new ego. So it was like I was becoming aware of the ego that I was embodying. I was separating from that ego. I was becoming detached from that ego, only to embody myself in a new ego, and just like repeating that process over and over and over again, while growing with each ego death in my awareness and knowledge that I need not attach myself to that old ego of mine that I have known, the new ego of mine that I am adjusting into from following my departure from that prior ego attachment that I had ego deathed from. So I just realized what I've been doing, and I feel like the accumulated knowledge and the awareness and consciousness it's finally like climbed up on top of each prior experience enough to the point where it's finally kind of hit me now, like, oh. And it's not that I didn't know this before, it's just that I don't know why it's just hitting me differently now. But basically, oh, I just have to stop attaching myself to any ego at all. And the confusion will stop. What I mean by that is, I have counter arguments for myself too as I say this, but so let me just say the first quick counter argument, which is, well, yes, Minju, but also no, because so long as you are existing in this world, you will have this body, you will have this mind. So it's almost as though you can't escape from an attachment to your baseline ego infrastructure. So that's my kind of one first quick counter argument. The second thing I wanted to say, gosh, I hope I can remember. I lost it, darn it. Okay, it's okay. Thoughts come and go. So I should also not be attached to it. But I think I have at least expressed what I think it was that I wanted to express, which was I've gotten more and more used to understanding that it's not about me, it's not about the ego that I embody. Anything that happens and whatever happens, this is really literally merely just a vessel. Yet it's as though what I had been searching for with each ego death was an arrival at a new ego. You know, the last ego, the last state, the best state, the next version of me that will finally be the ideal version, the perfect version. So it was very it's very funny and silly and cute almost. It's very human. It's almost as if I was a little girl playing dress up, and I forgot that none of these costumes in my closet were ever going to be my bare naked body. But it was almost as if with each new costume that I put on, I kept on thinking, this is me. This is the new me. And I was getting really into this new costume. And then the universe starts tearing that costume off of me. And I'm just again? So I've been doing this for 4 or 5 years now. Gosh, I'm slow. But anyways, wow. But so this just makes so much sense to me now, and especially within the context of everything I've been going through in the past few months, as well as specifically the past 2 to 3 weeks, which I described in a different video. Felt like I was in this kind of a weird void, and I could sense that things were changing, but that period was also accompanied by a new level of consciousness that I kind of had begun to notice in myself, which was that I began more frequently to be able to more quickly recognize in each situation how it's not about me. It's just don't believe the limitations imposed by my physical environment and conditions and old beliefs. So basically, I have been shifting, and this epiphany just shed light on what that shift the essence of that shift, so to speak. Which, reminder to myself again, Minju, is that when you ego death, yes, it could, I think it's natural actually, and I shouldn't feel so stupid about myself about it. What we're used to is putting on an ego costume. So no wonder with each ego death, I thought that the next ego that I acquire is going to be my next new thing. But now I have come to realize none of these costumes are ever going to be the costume. I'm just here for the ride. I'm just passing through. This body is a vessel, and I'm here to do what I can do. And this vessel is not attached nor limited by anything. Whoa, I'm reprogramming my mind right now. Maybe this is magic grapefruit or something. Because these are not thoughts that I've necessarily never thought before. I've had thoughts like this before. It's just everything's feeling so clear, and I'm having a bit of an epiphany, eureka moment right now. This is pretty, wow, I feel very, where did this come from? I cleaned the house. I reorganized some furniture. So maybe the feng shui in my room changed. And I am really quickly reaping the benefits of having made these feng shui changes in my room. Okay, I had to put that out there. I want to finish eating this and then I have to go to sleep because I have to get up early tomorrow, but wow, okay. Minji, remember this. Remember this. You are more than your body. You are even more than your brain mind that you operate from. There is so much more to life. And you can do so much once you let go of the belief that you have to fit into and satiate a certain ego framework that you have either been used to operating in, or B, are newly mistakenly taking as an illusion to be your next and new ego framework to operate from. Caveat though, it's not wrong or bad necessarily to transition and switch into these new ego frameworks, because I think that maybe is a process of growth. I had to go through so many ego deaths to get to here. So in a sense, it makes sense, but also know that now you can know better. I think I got what I wanted to say out. It feels like there may be a little bit more processing left to do, but at least I have this on the record and I can refer to it again if I forget. Okay, I'm really excited to share this knowledge. If for nobody else, but for future Minju who might get lost again, or who might just want to remember what it was like to be Minju operating from this ego framework. Okay. I'm gonna go now. Happy Friday. I'll talk to you later. Bye.